Bulletin, the Ministry of Health has discharged the last Ebola case at the National Public Health Emergency Operations Center at Mulago. This milestone now indicates that Uganda has started the countdown for 42 days, after which the country will be declared Ebola-free if no any other confirmed cases is recorded.
May, we registered 20 confirmed cases, those who tested positive of Ebola. And of the 20, unfortunately, 2 died. 2 died. You had one died from here, another died from elsewhere. 2 died. And then, what is 20 minus 2? That is 18, elementary mathematics. 18 were successfully treated, they recovered, and now you see the last one is being discharged. Like Dr. Kasonde was saying, what we call the case fatality rate, which measures of the patients you had, how many have died, just about 10% is phenomenal, because we know with the individual virus, the fatality rate is usually above 30%. And this is not by accident. It means, and there are many lessons which we learn from this, that if you have symptoms and you report early, then your condition can be managed, especially when you have a competent team that does what is required and the associated services support that process. So we are very happy that today we are celebrating this. Of the 2015 were our brothers and sisters coming from Congo, DRC, nationals of DRC who are not resident here. They came from Congo seeking health care here in Uganda. So meaning that the outbreak we've been managing is an imported outbreak, because the epicenter where it started is in the Congo, in the Ituri province. Like it was DG or WHO said. So 20 minus 15 leaves 5. So the four were health workers who contracted the disease, but not here. The first case who came in when the health workers didn't know they were dealing with Ebola. And then one was a driver who transported one of the patients as the patient came here. So we celebrate this milestone because we acted early and were able to disrupt transmission. So there were no transmissions within the healthcare setting, no active community transmission. And it's not by accident, it's because of the effort we put up, the response we mounted as a country. Government working with the development partners like WHO, UNICEF, Africa CDC, and the many development partners, our health workers, the government taking the leadership.
Now, in the area of Ebola response, the initiative comes as the Ministry of Health continues nationwide sensitization campaigns aimed at preventing the spread of the Ebola virus. Now, the Uganda Professional Drivers Network, in partnership with the Uganda Nations Development Program, has handed over sanitation and hygiene equipment to truck and bus drivers to strengthen Ebola preparedness and prevention efforts.
The Ministry of Health has emphasized the importance of truck and bus drivers in preventing the spread of Ebola due to their frequent movement across districts and beyond. In partnership with the Uganda Professional Drivers Network and the United Nations Development Program, sanitation and hygiene equipment was distributed to support the country's Ebola preparedness efforts.
We know that the transport sector is very important in the movement of people. And viruses move with the people. As long as persons move from one place to another, and so are the viruses being transported from one geographical location to another. The clear example is how we registered this outbreak, that the first index case actually came from Congo. So meaning that as long as the Congo has not really overcome the challenge, we are still at risk.
Leaders of the Uganda Professional Drivers Network pledged to distribute the equipment across transport parks to aid in the fight against the Ebola virus.
They are going to be deployed at the different parks, so that as people are accessing parks or buses, they are able to wash their hands, they are able to take their temperature, but also as they board buses and they continue with their businesses. We expect that the bus owners can now buy batteries into the temperature guns, and every passenger, even those boarding along the road, can always be screened so that the transport sector remains safe.
The United Nations Development Programme representative attributed the support to strengthening Uganda's contribution in protecting regional trade and mobility in the region.
Because UNDP is a strong partner in supporting the government toward the achievement of their national development plan and sustainable development goals as well. What we have done now, it is falling in to respond to shock and crisis, and we are really delighted to be here to support and for the country to get free Ebola.
Truck and bus drivers welcomed the intervention and appealed to government to establish practical measures to allow safe mobility, especially in areas of higher risk of Ebola outbreak.
Bananyini mabasi nabo batugamba ffe ng'abakozi tinamwe muyimirira ate tugenda kubasasuza ki. So n'olwekyo tukubira gavumenti nga lipooti gye tufunye wano ku musawo omukulu ng'agamba sofa keesi ezabaawo tekunnayongerwako. Tubadde tusaba ekkoligo oba okusiba oba okuyimiriza baasi zaffe okugenda ku mabooda bye baateekawo liveewo.
With this initiative, the government aims to completely wipe out any importation of Ebola into the country. Komagom Rogers for UBC.
Government concerns over the slow progress of Busega-Mpigi Expressway have taken center stage on one of Uganda's key road infrastructure development aimed at easing traffic congestion and improving transport along the northern corridor.
The Busega-Mpigi Expressway project is expected to transform transport between Kampala and western Uganda by reducing travel time, improving road safety, and boosting trade. However, the project has been the subject of prolonged controversy over delays, rising costs, land compensation, and allegations of corruption. At the center of the controversies are two respected highway engineers that quietly design and supervise some of the country's biggest road projects. Engineer Dickens Ahimbisiwe and Engineer Edwin Raymond Chiaga have become household names for an entirely different reason. These issues saw President Yoweri Museveni publicly criticize officials in the Ministry of Works and Transport. The suspensions are linked to allegations that the engineers manipulated the alignment of Ugandan shillings 1.7 trillion Busega-Mpigi Expressway, triggering fresh land compensation claims and contributing to a massive escalation in the cost of one of Uganda's flagship road projects.
The African Development Bank people, and we have informed them, we are progressing with the project because we need this project if we are to decongest Kampala and spend a little time while moving on this road, because we have seen from Busega almost up to Mpigi there is a lot of jam. And this project came to answer those problems. At the same time, really, if you have to move your commodities from the west, from the Masaka side to Kampala, you see even the one from Mutukula side to Kampala, with all this jam, automatically the agricultural commodities from that side, they will be brought in the country at a very high price.
Works Minister Freddie Byamukama, together with the senior officials from the ministry, toured the project to assess the current level of implementation and establish the reasons behind the delayed completion. President Museveni in his letter alleged that the engineers diverted the expressway from its originally compensated route and redirected it through land requiring fresh compensation, contributing to the dramatic increase in the project's cost from about shillings 600 billion to approximately Ugandan shillings 1.3 trillion.
We have seen really there was a mistake. The mistake, there was no any money stolen from African Development Bank. The money from African Development Bank was meant to do the physical works, not land acquisition. The money from African Development Bank was meant to do the physical works, like what you are doing. Then the money from government of Uganda, billions of money, was meant to compensate people to acquire the right of way. So that's where the problem came from. People went in to eat this money from government of Uganda through land acquisition.
The 23.7-kilometer expressway initially was expected to be completed by 2024, but by mid-2026, only a fraction of the work had been completed despite substantial funding.
80% of the right of way is in the swamp. 80%. And you see the justifications they are giving. I've reasoned them out that we avoided those houses. The houses they avoided, when you look at them, I doubt whether there is a house which is even worth 500 million Ghana shillings. But they are saying we avoided those houses. When you look at them according to valuations, not out of money. So as investigations goes on, I'm also seeing the challenge by own Ugandans. They saw they couldn't eat money for civil works, but they wanted that money from government of Uganda for land acquisition. And that's how they diverted to ensure their property is compensated there.
While on site, the project contractors briefed the Minister on construction progress, outlining the challenges that have slowed the works.
So far, we've already completed around 47% of physical progress. As you see, so far, we are not working under full capacity. We are just working partially. The challenge is we are waiting for additional addendum.
So to connect this road where we are standing now, that's why to be an interchange. In addition to 1.3 trillion, they need more 700 billion. I know Ugandans are going to cry, but this is the reality I must tell you. In addition to the 1.3 trillion, we need 700 billion if you have to solve this problem. So imagine now the road is going to come from 600 billion, 2 trillion.
I'm Ivan Juko, reporting for UBC.
Now, happenings with Nigeria High Commission. The acting ambassador of the Nigerian High Commission in Uganda, Her Excellency Mwisitura Abdul Rahim, has deployed 25 Nigerian teachers to the Islamic University in Uganda and Kabale University under Nigeria's Technical Aid Corps TAC scheme. The two-year deployment aims to strengthen academic capacity, promote knowledge exchange, and deepen educational cooperation between the two countries.
Over by Her Excellency Mr. Abdurrahim, who described the initiative as a reflection of Nigeria's commitment to supporting human capital development and technical cooperation across Africa. The acting ambassador said the Technical Aid Corps scheme has benefited in education institutions for more than 20 decades, contributing to academic excellence while strengthening ties between Nigeria and Uganda.
To the volunteers, to the laws and regulations of the host country. It is also crucial to note that monetary visits by the High Commission and NTAC officials will be conducted periodically to ensure the agreed terms are.
The 25 volunteers assigned to the Islamic University in Uganda and Kabale University were urged to uphold professionalism, demonstrate integrity, and contribute to institutional development throughout their two-year deployment.
This process is done through rigorous selection process of these volunteers who are carefully selected.
regional cooperation.
I sincerely thank the government of Nigeria and the task program for their unwavering support to our institution. Today, we are delighted to welcome our new task volunteers as they begin a 2-year journey of service to Kabale University by choosing to share your knowledge and expertise with us. You are strengthening not only education but also the enduring friendship between Nigeria and Uganda.
UIU has received 17 professors, senior lecturers and associate professors in the disciplines of engineering, education, economics, law and other areas. And IUIU is very much pleased to receive these great academicians from the Nigerian government who are going to help us to up the game in terms of our education and teaching responsibilities. So this evening we have been here at the High Commission to receive them. We are very grateful to the Nigerian Republic, and we are also very grateful for the embassy which has organized this event at which these particular academicians have been.
The Technical Aid Corps scheme, established by the federal government of Nigeria in 1987, deploys skilled Nigerian professions to African, Caribbean and Pacific countries upon request to promote technical cooperation, strengthen diplomatic relations and support sustainable development. Winnie Nalusiba reporting for UBC TV.
Now, lawyers under the Uganda Law Society and Uganda Muslim Lawyers Association have held special prayers for their colleague Ediase Lukwago, who is currently on remand at Luzira prison.
Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala yagamba tichonna kyonna Allah eddala lyabakutuusizza n'obukakkanso omujjuvu ategeerekeka yagamba nti wabtaghi fima ataaka Allahu dara al-akhira, sooka kunoonyaamu nnyumba ya nkomerero.
Tweyongere ssaala tusaba prisons yes eragire ddala tusobola kujjanjaba Ssaalongo bweba tesobodde kumujjanjaba yo yennyini emutwala eyindi yakale bweba beebigaanye yo yennyini emutwala jjanjabi nga recommendations bwe zaakola ki bwe zaatugamba. Ekirala tusaba ssaala mwongere okutusabira tukkiriza nti Katonda engeri gyali nti ali waggulu wa buli muntu, ffenna tuli wansi we, ajja kuwulira okusaba kwaffe Ssaalongo aveeyo mu kkomera ajjanjabibwe.
We came up with the Section 3C, which has been put in place to protect lawyers in the course of their legal work. This is because lawyers are now very important. If a lawyer is attacked, that is more or less human rights now being violated free of charge.
Now, residents of Kachira and the surrounding communities are expected to benefit from improved healthcare services following the commissioning of Kachira Health Center 4 in Jinja district.
I officially opened this medical store constructed to support
the population served by this facility, the increasing demand for healthcare, and the certification of Kachira justify the need for more comprehensive services. Elevation to health center 4 would enable the facility intervention, cesarean sections, blood transfusion services, enhance improved inpatient care and strong emergency response.
Remember him on what he does. So we need this health center to be elevated to health center 4. This is our prayer.
Hospital serving abantu bangi, our general hospital, it serves Jinja district, parts of Luoka and Kamuli, those which are close to Jinja district. bona baidayo aye nga tuzira ward tuzira bintu bingi era naenda minisita eda abona equipment gye baatuwa ategeere nti kitufu baatuwa tutulimba bulimbe.
Nze ngenda diteeka mu system ey'okufuna eddagala nga health center 4 ekyo kyageze Ministry of Health kati Alice bweyogera bwete otonyongerayo za equipment. Ekyokusatu gavumenti yeesadde okubawa ssente za PHC primary health care. Waliwo ssente zimaintaininga compound masanyalaze mazzi kipi kati ezo nazo tujja kutandika mu September kubanga guno omwaka guno ogwa July kubadde kutulese.
Now, the Uganda Wildlife Authority has accused Hoima Sugar Factory for encroaching on parts of Bugoma Forest. Now, Fred Kiza, the chief warden of Machishan Falls Conservation Area, says investigations and official records show that the company exceeded the boundaries of the land it was authorized to use for sugarcane growing.
Not just going to sit stop, but through the legal process. But as of now, charcoal burning, tree cutting, cultivating in the park is illegal and not acceptable. Brothers and sisters, today, I think close to 100 Banyoro have been arrested from this road because of tree cutting, because of charcoal burning, because of transporting charcoal along the road.
But we find that most of the area is degraded, either it is under maize or beans, some other crops. So we have got the approval from NEMA for the restoration. We got the approval in December. We started right earnestly the planting immediately.
Now, Ugandans have been urged to seek timely medical care from qualified health professionals as a way of preventing complications from disease. Now, the call was made during a medical camp organized by Muntuyera High School Kitunga Old Boys Association.
The medical camp was officially opened by the Bishop of South Ankole Diocese, Right Reverend Nathan Himbisibwe, who encouraged Ugandans to seek medical attention from professional health workers.
It needs both of them. There are sicknesses and diseases that you need a real physical treatment, and there are many. But also, if you have those, you also need spirituals. You need to pray. This injection they have given you, or the treatment you have got, also to be blessed, so that it works very well. So faith and the treatment, they both go hand in hand.
Old Boys sat and organized this campaign to see that we put a block on the national development through programs that are looking at eradicating non-communicable diseases.
This is our giving back to community as an appreciation for the foundation that we got from this school.
The Muntuyera High School Old Boys who organized this medical camp said the Ankole sub-region is experiencing a growing burden of non-communicable diseases, particularly diabetes, cancer, and obesity.
The Old Boys have organized a team of health workers, that is old boys who started from this same community, to come in and provide this service, and these services are completely free of charge, that is today.
How this idea began, the old boys that started from Muntuyera High School, Kitunga, looked at the community around Muntuyera High School and how it helped them to shape them into what they are today. So they decided to have this medical camp so that those people get treated of their ailments that are very common among them. The treatment and examination is completely free of charge. There are common ailments like cervical cancer, which has been very common around, and we thought that by organizing such a medical camp, these women would come here and get treatment.
The medical camp is focusing on educating the public on health lifestyles and preventive measures. The Old Boys Association says the annual initiative, which began in 2024, will expand with plans to hold next year's medical camp in Rwanda, where some of the association's alumni are based.
And it's going to be a continuous activity. Every year we plan to have medical camps. We have people from this community, even from the neighboring districts. And actually next year we want to take it a notch higher, and we have what we call the Rwanda chapter.
Crispus Adenitwe reporting for UBC.
Short break, and of course we will return with more news. Stay with us.
Brought to you by
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
Makerere Institute for Social Development, a certified institution for higher learning, invites applicants for certificates and diploma courses like accounting and finance, procurement, journalism, tailoring and fashion design, with many other skills-tailored courses.
Our institution is compliant. First of all, it is recognized by National Council for Higher Education. We are certified. The registration number is UBB 187.
Tested and tried since 1995, Makerere Institute for Social Development is your solution when it comes to quality education.
You may apply for January, May, August intakes. Find us along Sir Apollo Kagwa Road, opposite Makerere University Sports Ground. Our tuition is affordable with a state-of-art facilities. Early birds stand a chance to grab themselves bursaries. MISD or Makerere Institute for Social Development, facilitating your career.
The Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, Right Honorable Richard Todwang, on behalf of the NRM National Chairman, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, congratulates all NRM village chairpersons and women council flag bearers who were elected to contest in village elections. In the same spirit, the NRM Secretary General reminds all party supporters across the country to note and massively participate in the following important activities. On Wednesday, the 22nd of July 2026, all NRM supporters are reminded to attend barazas in their villages for final mobilization. On Thursday, the 23rd of July, women above 18 years are to elect women council committees in all villages across the country, while voting for village chairpersons will take place on Tuesday, the 28th of July 2026. Please note, all flag bearers of NRM, LC1 chairpersons and women councils are reminded that from the 11th to the 14th of July 2026 is their endorsement by parish registrars, while nomination by the National Electoral Commission is scheduled for the 15th to the 19th of July 2026. We have seen what peace and stability under the NRM government can do. Vote for NRM flag bearers. Vote for progress.
Alo.
Yese mwami mukasa.
Mutyaneyo.
Yono broka.
Yenze broka wa mayumba.
Bangambye
mwene nyumba za mwenunjiko.
Kituufu. Oyagala yabisenga bimeka?
Nga bisatu.
Ebbeeyi bagigambye?
Abangambye £5.
Nedda ssebe eno zaali nnyabuuko.
Lwaki?
Anti langi gye tusiigisa ya mulembe. Kati ne valiyo y'ekitundu yalinnya.
Musiigisa ki?
Global Paints.
Mutya?
Ku siiringi tukozesa Global Mat. Ate munda ne tukozesa Global Silk Vinyl.
Singa kwetaga wabweru.
Wabweru tukozesa Global Weather Coat Emulsion.
Owa? Kusiiga gye musiiga? Ogwo omutindo ogusasulira essente zonna.
Guli wumite.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
The parent is Tulyahewa Dixon. And the child is Tulyahewa Esther.
Kambera gwete kwa mchisha. Ishe watu Tulyahewa Esther. Wahangura school fees. Ngeni na hateja shana mashemere kwa gonka. MTN mo eberewo mbeni nyegasta igana kaga ni 5 sta manana 0 hash kushashuro mwana school fees tokoma nyo muchisheri zagwijo wanje ninga nchaka ngwasa kuzo wawe mwebare munonga.
What if accessing government services became easier, faster and closer to you? Introducing Service Uganda Centers, a new initiative designed to bring key government services closer to the people under one convenient location. Less movement from office to office, less unnecessary travel, better access to services and information. At the Service Uganda Centers, citizens will be able to access national ID services, passport processing, business registration, land and revenue services, and more, all in one convenient location. Whether you are in the city or upcountry, Service Uganda Centers are being designed with you in mind. Enjoy faster service, professional guidance, and a seamless customer experience. This is an initiative of the Government of Uganda, digitally powered by the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITA, under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project Government Network. Service Uganda Centers, bringing services closer to the people.
Welcome back from that short break into the world of business. The High Court in Kampala has ruled that compulsory enrollment of Uganda police officers into Exodus SACCO without their consent is unconstitutional, saying it violates their freedom of association. In a judgment delivered by Acting Justice Boni Isaac Teko, the court held that police officers have the right to choose whether to join or decline membership in any association, including a savings and credit cooperative.
The reason for suing was because of the involuntary recruitment of all serving police officers into Exodus Police Circle without their consent. They could not allow them to apply to join or exit, so they were forcefully making them to serve. And when they were forcefully making them to serve, it was hard for them or nearly impossible for them to exit. When the Tier 4 Moneylenders Act came into force, it provided for getting a license from Bank of Uganda if your threshold was beyond 500 million. Exodus Police Circle has been operating illegally without a license from Bank of Uganda. So because of those illegalities, as someone who believes in the rule of law, I took them to court. And the court has told them they should allow these police officers to exit within 6 months from now. Those who want to join, they join. Those who don't want, they should exit. 2, I also, in my evidence, brought to court a report from Parliament that showed Exodus their books of accounts or audit were wanting. So court has directed that they be subjected to a forensic audit, them to get a license from Bank of Uganda. Because in the evidence that was adduced before court, it was clear that Exodus doesn't have a license from Bank of Uganda. They should stop collecting or deducting police officers' monies So if they're in poor conditions, subjected to harsh denial of their salaries, they cannot be said to be free and fair.
Now, in another circle, Wazalendo or communication officers have been urged to remain professional, member-centered and committed to protecting the reputation of their institution through credible and timely communication.
What you do in the field in what is member-centered. When you sit, if you're coming up with activity, you ask yourself, how does this one help to improve members' welfare? If it's not more helping, I have seen what you have done. Within this, to me, 6 years, it's short time. You know, the first year, they study here and there, you don't do anything, but you have done great.
And as a woman, it's a chance, it's an opportunity that I thank the UPDF for. The issue of inclusivity, the UPDF has done it well, and Wazalendo has taken it on. And me being on top management, it's something I don't take for granted as a lady, and I thank God for that chance and for the support granted to me. I pledge to the UPDF, who I've served for the last 17 years now, on the Directorate of Information. It's always discipline, commitment, because this department requires a lot of discipline, commitment, and having to fill the gap, the information gap between the institution and the community. There's a lot the UPDF is doing, Wazalendo is doing, that we feel the community should know about, not to praise ourselves, but also some people to learn from us.
We thank you, the outgoing, for what you have done. We thank you for the discipline, commitment for Wazalendo Circle.
I'm going to continue raising the bar high. I bring vast experience from different units that I have worked as an information officer. I believe that while consulting other stakeholders and the departments within the circle, we shall make it shine.
To know the importance of charity is key function.
Now, the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited, UEDCL, has commissioned the refurbishment and upgrade of electricity infrastructure in Rwenzori sub-region. The project will improve two major feeders, Nkenda, that is Nkenda, and then Kasese and Nkenda Bushenyi, over a period of 8 months.
The upgrade of the 11-kilometer Nkenda Kasese feeder and the 100-kilometer Nkenda Bushenyi feeder is intended to address the long-standing concerns raised by the communities over unreliable electricity supply.
Needs for supply quality of supply improvement, because we had so many power interruptions occasioned by poles falling in the park, and this was due to bushfires that usually happen in the park, which deteriorated the life of the poles in the park. So this project is coming after the government approved a budget or spending of 16 billion.
The project will involve replacing wooden poles with concrete poles and strengthening the distribution network to match the increasing power generated by the newly constructed power plants.
Adding the conductor for that 11-kilometer line, the existing conductor is a mixture of 25 and 50. So we are upgrading it to 100 square millimeter. And the one of Nkenda Ishaka, it is 100 square millimeter, so we are upgrading it to 200 to increase the capacity. But also what motivated this project also to come in place, we are having a number of mini hydropower plants in the Rwenzori region, which are unable to evacuate their generation because of the constraint on the network.
The company has conducted community and stakeholder engagements as the project will require planned power shutdown during the 8-month implementation period.
We shall be communicating 2 days before these outages come through. So we expect these outages to come on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 5. But like I said, we are going to be communicating 2 days before that outage.
The community is optimistic that the project will improve electricity reliability, stimulate development and create employment opportunities for the population.
The leadership will have really pledged support in terms of security and in terms of physical support. So I appeal to our young, energetic youth also who are willing to be among those people who are going to provide service. Please come and join them. They give you employment, then you get your living.
During the commissioning of the project at the Kasese district headquarters, district leaders pledged to support the project, particularly by safeguarding the electricity infrastructure against vandalism.
We are going to protect them and those vandalizers, and in fact they should know if you are caught in that act, it is a treason case. But this time we are going to change the style because it is too much.
The 2 major feeders under this enhancement project evacuate power from the Nkenda power substation. The upgrade is expected to maximize the utilization of generated electricity while reducing losses associated with dimmed energy. The contract has been awarded to Tetra Technical Services.
Still in business, the World Bank has retained Uganda among low-income economies despite the government's recent declaration that the country had attained lower middle-income status.
World Bank's GNI assessment and ranking comes barely a month after government announced in the 2026-2027 budget speech that Uganda had crossed the lower middle income threshold, with gross national income per capita rising to $1,389 US.
So GNI per capita looks at the income that has been earned by residents of the country within, for example, this financial year, which we are talking about. So it means if you look at this kind of...
so the computation is from July to July.
It's the financial year. That's what we are looking at, financial year. So if we look at that, in terms of gross national income, we are looking at total income received by Ugandans, both here and abroad, in this kind of, in a given period which we are looking at.
But what does this divergence between the government assessment and the World Bank's classification mean for Uganda's economy, investment prospects and development ambitions?
So by considering you as a lower income country, you are going to miss out on what you call some concessional loans. Some development assistance you may not qualify for it. Because now people start to get worried whether you have capacity. Have you heard of appraisal? That when you want to get a loan, the institution will come to you and have to appraise, and when they come up, there is already a trusted statistic on
like some form of a credit score.
Absolutely. Where do you fall?
The World Bank uses its Atlas method to determine country income classifications, a methodology that smooths exchange rate fluctuations and relies on internationally comparable data when calculating gross national income per capita.
You realize we have big potential, and the government is actually putting some efforts to be able to take advantage of these opportunities and be able to unleash the potential. Tourism potential, you have seen you have looked at the 10-fold growth strategy.
Minerals,
so if we can be able to take advantage of these ATMs, agro-industrialization, we focus on value addition, we intensify it. We just be able to position ourselves in terms of tourism, bring in more money coming from tourists, and then we'll be able to take advantage of the oil that is coming through. You would expect that we can be able to move into that level.
Across East Africa, Kenya and Tanzania remain lower middle income economies, while Uganda and Rwanda continue to be classified as low income economies.
So if you see Kenya at its level of industrial development, a regional hub, when you see it at that level, and you think that actually you have been judged fairly, you should be at the level of Kenya, then you are not facing reality.
You're right.
You get the point? And
that's a very clear point.
Yeah, and secondly, I encourage Ugandans also to have an opportunity to move beyond Uganda and see how other countries are doing it.
Dennis Goa for UBC.
And that does bring us to the end of our lunchtime news. Thank you once again for allowing us into your lunchtime space. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Good afternoon.